Chapter 34 The Greatness of Udi. The greatness of Udi is described in the previous chapter and will continue here. The dreadful disease that could not be cured by any mean was totally eradicated by the application of the Udi by Baba's own hands. The story of the importance of Udi, as recorded by Hari Sitaram Dikshit, is described here. A gentleman named Kimji Lalji Joshi lived in a Punjab chawl in Parle. His daughter was ill for a long time. Once she became serious, then her mother went to Dikshit's house and took away Maharaj's Udi. She felt a little better immediately with that Udi. Later, Kimji went to Shirdi with his wife and daughter. The girl was so weak that she was unable to walk. Her arms and legs had become thin as sticks. Someone picked her up and made her sit near Baba. Baba applied Udi on her and blessed her. In a couple of days, she was able to walk alone. She had difficulty in sitting and getting up only. Baba gave her a fruit to eat, and from then onwards her difficulties was removed. There was a qualified doctor, Malgaon, in the district Nasik. His nephew had tubercular bone abscess. All medicines and even surgery brought no improvement. They learned that in Shirdi there was some famous Aulia. Sai Maharaj is known as Yogi for yogis. By his near darshan, diseases were eradicated. To try the last remedy, the mother and the father took their son to Shirdi. They took Baba's darshan, bowed and prostrated at his feet and narrated the whole story. The Sai assured them, "Those who come and restore to the masjid shall never suffer anything in this life. Now be carefree. Take Udi and apply it on the abscess. Within 4 to 8 days, he will get relief. Have faith in God." This is not masjid but Dwaravati. He who steps here will get health and happiness within no time. Later, with Baba's order, the doctor's nephew was made to sit before him, and Baba moved his hand and leg and the cast merciful glance at him. After 4 days, there was an improvement. The disease and the boy returned home along with his parents, full of happiness and satisfaction. Only through the application of Udi, the abscess drained away. Whatever be the disease, whether it be physical or destined or even created by mind, is destroyed from its roots by Baba's darshan. Just seeing Baba's face, all trouble cease then and there. And drinking the nectar of his words gives the greatest happiness to a sick person. In the village of Turande, near Belapur in Thane district, a lady named Shantabai had a tubercular bone abscess on the thumb of her left hand. She suffered from it for 7 years. One night Baba told her in dream, "You apply Daikyamali." Obeying the orders in the dream, she applied Daikyamali to the abscess and it got better. Then she wrote a postcard to Baba informing him of a cure. Having heard about the wellness of his nephew, the doctor from Malgaon wished to have Baba's darshan. He started for Shirdi, but somebody created doubts in his mind and he abandoned the idea of going to Shirdi. He went straight to Bombay and decided to spend the rest of his holidays at Alibag. One night he heard a voice in his sleep, "Do you still have disbelief in me?" He at once decided to go to Shirdi, but one of his patients had high temperature and no medicines proved useful, so the doctor could not go to Shirdi. He decided if the patient improved that day, he would leave for Shirdi the next day right away without losing a moment. The doctor's objective could be fulfilled and he left for Shirdi. Baba placed his hand on the doctor's head with blessings and gave him Udi Prasad. He stayed there for 4 days and returned. Hardly had a fortnight passed and he went to Bijapur. Dr. Pillai was in excruciating pain because of guinea worms and he was fed up of life. He was the beloved devotee of Baba. Baba called him by the nickname Bau and always inquired about his well-being. In Masjid, Bau's place was near the railing in the morning and evening. Thus standing there, he used to spend time with Baba and they chatted a lot. Bau was needed when the chillam was puffed and the bidi was smoked. Later, his pain on account of the guinea worm increased and he surrendered himself to Sai. Enough of this suffering, even death is preferable. Baba bearing this pain on account of the guinea worms is similar to death. Instead, let me die now. I will undergo the sufferings in my next life. Listening to his prayers, Baba sent a message through Dikshit: Be fearless. Why should you be crippled for 10 lives? You have to bear it out only for 10 days. We shall both share it. When I am capable of granting liberation, material's desires are spiritually. Why are you being brave and asking for something meaningless like death? Baba said, Bring him here on somebody's back. He will bear what is destined. Dr. Pillai was brought to the masjid and Baba immediately took out the bolster from behind his back and gave it to him. He placed him on the right where Fakir Baba used to sit and sit. Lean on the bolster near my right side. Do not worry unnecessarily. Stretch your legs out so that you will be at ease. Whatever is destined has to be born. Allah is the master and the protector. Always meditate upon him. He takes every care. Surrender at his feet and constantly think of him. One will realize his functioning. Nana Sahib Chandur could tie the bandage over the wound, but he had no relief. Then Baba said, Nana is mad. Ho Pillai, remove the bandage immediately, otherwise you will die. A crow will come and peck. Then you will get well. In the meantime, to pour oil in the lamps, Baba's devotee Abdullah walked in. Fully concentrated on his work, he unknowingly stepped on Baba Pillai's leg. The bawled out loudly. The wound burst and the worms began to ooze out. Pillai was crying out loudly and singing alternately, O Karim, have mercy on my pitiable state. Thou art called merciful and kind, thou art emperor of both the worlds. The world is the splendor, the world is going to be destroyed, but your grandeur will be eternal. You are always the savior of the devotees. Baba said, Babu is singing now. The crow is the guise of Abdullah had trod on your leg. Baba fulfilled his prediction. Baba said to Pillai, Go and rest in the Vada. Now the crow will not come to peck at you. He is the same who trod on your leg. He is the crow who pecked and ran away. And on the 10th day, the disease was totally cured only by the application of Udi and consuming it with water. Pillai embraced Baba's feet. In Sahul Vihir, when Bapaji's wife had fever, large buboes developed in her groins. Seeing his wife in great pain at the fearsome night time, Bapaji got worried. He at once reached Shirdi and told the full detail to his brother Madhav Rao. Madhav Rao at once got to know that it was a bubonic plague. He prayed to Baba and went to him to seek permission from him to go to Sahul Vihir. Baba said to him, Do not go so late in the night. Send Udi to her. The fever will come down and the buboes will also subside. Everything will be safe and without problem. Go early in the morning to Sahul Vihir and return. Do not be in a hurry to go now. So, bowing to Baba's will, Madhav Rao sent Udi. When he reached home, Bapaji mixed Udi in the water and gave it to his wife and also applied some on her body. After that, she profusely perspired and fell asleep. In the morning, Bapaji found no fever and no bobos left. He was surprised. In the morning, Madhav Rao took Baba's darshan and got the Udi. As he was descending the steps of the masjid, Baba commanded him, Return immediately. There will be no cause to delay. He asked Bapaji, This is the miracle due Baba's Udi, certainly. Babaji explained to Madhav Rao everything that had happened. He felt happy to listen to the wellness of his sister-in-law. Following Baba's command, he immediately returned and said to Baba, Ho Deva, what is this sport? Your greatness is boundless. To this Baba said, I am neither God nor the Almighty. I only remember Lord and remind people of the existence of the Supreme Lord. I am just a poor servant of Allah. Whatever the situation, good or bad, or any work auspicious or unauspicious, it was the tradition in Shirdi to consult Sai. Then, whatever he said was followed meticulously. He alone removed the problems of the devotees. A young daughter of an Irani gentleman got convulsion hour to hour. Her body arched like a bow and she fell down at the very spot. No remedy was effective. The Irani's friend told him, Go to Pale and ask Dishit for Udi. Bring Udi and give it with water and apply some on her body, and that your daughter will be cured. The Irani gentleman did accordingly and his daughter was cured. An old man lived in a village near Harda. Once he was distressed due to kidney stones. There was no cure for this without surgery. At that time, Imandar, a great devotee of Baba, came there. That time his relatives took Baba's Udi from him The son gave it to the father, mixing it in water. Hardly 5 minutes he passed. The kidney stone was passed out of the kidney and flushed out in the urine. There is one more story describing the greatness of Udi. The wife of a gentleman from Bombay by the caste Kayashit Prabhu always had difficulty at the time of delivery. There was a devotee named Sri Ram Maruthi. On his advice, the Kayashit gentleman went to Shirdi at the time of delivery and lived there for some time. At the time of his wife's delivery, the womb was obstructed and the lady was in severe pain. One of the neighboring ladies mixed Baba's udi in water, gave her to drink, and prayed to Baba. Hardly 5 minutes passed when the lady delivered without much trouble. Once Narayan Gopinath Daige, a resident of Bombay, had a tumor in the stomach. The tumor was like a hard stone. Daige began to suffer a lot due to it. He consulted a doctor, but it was of no use. His friend gave him Baba's udi. As soon as he applied it on the tumor, he was cured. After a few days, when he felt better, Daige went to Shirdi, fulfilling his words, and took Baba's darshan. One experiences the greatness of Udi according to his faith. This is the significance of these stories. Om Shri Sainathaya Namaha.